Today, we're taking down a dangerous block wall. Then we'll rebuild it and install a privacy aluminum fence. Once again, we're all fired up. A carpenter takes on an exterior renovation. If an earthquake causes this wall to collapse, children walking by could be injured. We can't let that happen. That's the reason this whole project began. Years ago, a tragic accident occurred when a school block wall collapsed, taking the life of a child. Since then, there's been a push to remove old block walls wherever possible. Some regions offer subsidies to help with removal. But in reality, it doesn't always cover everything. This time, the client made the decision to cover the cost themselves. This street gets a lot of car traffic, and it's also part of the kids' route to school. The block wall we're removing is about 55 meters long. We were lucky the weather was still cool. That really helped. Blocks are heavy, so we break them into small pieces to remove them safely. By the way, I bought this mini excavator for fun. There's just something about backhoes that gets to you. But I'm not a pro in this kind of work. I'm a carpenter by trade. We removed the gate pillar using a rope to lift it out. Honestly, that's the kind of thing that would get you in trouble on site. When the rope started creaking, it gave us a bit of a scare. Let's take a quick detour to talk about building codes. Each block is 20 cm high and 40 cm wide. If the wall is over 120 cm high, that's 6 blocks. Then you need to add a support wall called a buttress every 3.4 meters. You also need to insert rebar at the proper spacing. But many old walls were built before clear standards, and age has only made them more dangerous. This wall didn't meet code either. We tried giving it a little push and if this fell over while someone was walking by, it'd be terrifying to even imagine. Inside the wall, we found almost no rebar. That made demo work go really fast. Even the foundation blocks had almost no anchors. If an earthquake had hit, the whole thing would have definitely come down. Doing demolition all at once like this isn't something we're used to. Toward the end, no one wanted to lift another block. Still, we somehow managed to take down all 55 meters in a single day. Next, we drilled anchor holes into the original foundation. There were elevation differences in pipes to avoid, so we decided to reuse the existing base. Insert the rebar anchors into their designated positions. When you hammer them in, the tip expands inside the hole, locking them in place. We drilled each hole with a hammer drill according to the specified dimensions.
テレビ映んの
テレビな顔がずっと外れてきて背中だけで
ほとんど帽子カットでも見えやん
After drilling, we carefully remove the dust and debris from each hole. Anchors are installed across all the foundation, 55 meters in total. Next, we pour concrete into the base forms we've assembled. Now entering the scene is our trusty concrete buddy, the vibrator. It vibrates the fresh concrete to release air bubbles and compact the mix. This buzzing process is critical to ensure concrete strength. And just like that, reinforcement of the block foundation is complete. By the way, this property sits lower than the road, which made it difficult to rebuild the foundation from scratch. Next, we move on to small-scale demolition around the entrance. We're trying out a brand new demolition hammer this time. It weighs about 18 kilograms. I heard it's got plenty of power, quiet operation, and good aiming precision. It's designed to suppress vibration when idle and revs up when it hits material. But honestly, I find it kinda awkward to use. Some tools evolve for the better, others, not so much. It's hit or miss. We hauled off the chunks of concrete waste to the disposal site. In the middle of a sudden downpour, we had to hand unload everything from a flatbed truck. Felt like a punishment. While massive dump trucks came and went, our tiny truck really stood out. The plasterer stacked the decorative blocks with great care. We then began installing posts for the privacy fence on top. First, we string a line to check the overall alignment. Since it's a long stretch, we start by setting the corner and end posts first. The posts are secured with wedges. There are many ways to do this, but for someone like me, who's not used to fencing, this method feels the most reliable. The straight section along the road went on smoothly, but the other side curves, and getting the positioning right was tricky. We had to consider both aesthetics and the spacing layout during the install. Time to bring out the secret weapon.
めちゃくちゃ便利。こう巻いて一発でこっちとこっちの垂直がわかるんです。DIY でこれ使うと簡単です。
何かを垂直に立てたいとき、
Yes.
Once a post is set, it's important not to move it around. Even a slight shake can liquefy the mortar and make the post wobbly. I'm no pro, so I work a bit slower, but I care a lot about precision and the final look. After setting a few posts, I got a good feel for it and started placing them more efficiently. Before the mortar sets, we do some final tweaks to get everything just right. All that's left is to hope the neighborhood kids don't come by and start poking at the posts. The next day. Time to finally install the main fence panels.
暑いね。
暑いですね。帽子は今日は
帽子、お前。
熱中症になりますよ。
今日東京は30度ですね。
ここは
Every time Yo-chan talks to me, I lose track of measurements and have to start over.
じゃあ作りましょう。
Next up is trimming the aluminum fence panels. I made this straight edge using a scrap piece of plywood. It helps me make clean, straight cuts. Cutting aluminum fence panels. This step is surprisingly time-consuming.
結構ね、危ないよね。
まじまじと見たらあかん。あれでうるさい。
We carefully cut the panels using a circular saw with a blade designed for aluminum.
アルミを切るときはさ、こうやってマスキングを下に貼るんでね。ベースだと傷がつくからさ。だけどこの定規使えば傷絶対につかないの。これやり方が一番いい。
Even small tricks like this can make a big difference in the final result.
これ今日何回もやる。
On the workbench, I've got a piece of rigid urethane insulation. Aluminum scratches easily, so having a soft base is crucial. For cleanup, I use Makita's 40V Cyclone vacuum. It's super quiet but has strong suction. A real dependable tool. Following the manual, we drill holes in the marked spots and secure everything with screws. This project had a lot of corners and turns, so there was tons of trimming to do. Measuring each one individually is a pain, so I made a custom jig just for pre-drilling.
同じように。
この穴を作るっていうこと。
そう。
Little tricks like that really help when you're doing the same task over and over. Once I got used to it, I could prep each panel in about 5 minutes. In total, we ended up cutting about 15 panels. It's actually pretty delicate work. Would be great if the manufacturer made this easier to install in the future. With the labor shortage these days, fiddly tasks like this could become bottlenecks. Now it's time to assemble the fence panels all at once. Cutting them was tough, but the assembly went surprisingly smoothly. This kind of job might be unusual for a carpenter. But once you've done it, you gain a whole new appreciation for how tricky it is. And that experience helps when you talk to others. Experience never goes to waste. Of course, there's the saying, let the pros handle it. There's a reason people say, leave it to the pros. It's faster, better, and way less of a headache. Unpacking all the fence panels was probably more annoying than installing them. All the fence panels are finally installed. When cutting aluminum, we blow away the metal shavings with a blower to prevent the blade from rusting. Fence, gate, carport, and nameplate. All installations are complete. Now it's time for the final finishing touches. We coat the top of the block wall with mortar to finish it off. Normally, you'd finish the top before installing the fence, but due to the schedule, we did it afterward.
補填の扱いが違う。
そりゃそう。
A veteran plasterer is on another level, both speed and finish.
受け方もこっち受けやからねっていう。
見てて気持ちいいです。
To finish, we use a pressure washer to clean off the base of the foundation.
これで取れました。気持ちいいね。
With that, all construction work is complete. The old deteriorated block wall has been completely reborn. Now the road is safe for kids to walk by, and that's what matters most. Thank you for watching.